What is that look on your face?
Annabel asked Mo. She had seen a tinge of pain on her friend's face after she got off a call. Look? Nothing. Nothing is wrong. Annabel defended herself. Didn't you just get off the call with your boo? Anna prodded. Mo bit her lips. There is something off about the relationship, but I am yet to place my finger on it. It just isn't giving, she said. Really? I thought you've been enjoying it. And Desmond is a nice person, no? What do you mean by something is off about the relationship? Desmond is every woman's dream. You don't know what you have, girl, she said, and scurried out of the room. Mo was left alone to her thoughts. Truly, her boyfriend was a really amazing friend to whomever he chooses to be friends with. His love language is acts of service, and he does it a lot for people. This side of him is sometimes a turn-off for Mo, whose meetings with him had most times been interrupted by calls from random people, pleading with him to come around to do some things for them. Mo had told him many times of the need to strike a balance, but he would smile and tell her, it is good to be kind. They started their relationship 6 months ago. There had been this professional course they both registered for as accountants, and they always met in class. Desmond was popular from the word go because he was always ready to help. He helped his colleagues with assignments, getting information from lecturers they couldn't approach, and so on. As a result, when people saw how he stared admiringly many times when Mo passed by, they did the matchmaking for him. Mo smiles whenever she remembers how they had set her up to a location alone with Desmond, whom she has heard a lot about. She had felt special on that day when she realized she was the chosen one. People had congratulated her at the commencement of the relationship, as if she won a lottery. The first few weeks had been glorious. She would smile privately at the realization that such a massively loved person was her man. She went on to please him many times by taking cooked food to his house and did a lot of acts of service for him. She washed his clothes, cleaned his house, etc. A development he got used to and started seeing it as her duty. Many times he would leave her alone in his flat to go and attend to people's needs, while he wouldn't join Mo in the chores he was doing at his house. At first, when Mo wanted to complain, she told herself it was nothing much. Later, she started feeling drained. Desmond wasn't speaking her own love language, which was quality time and words of affirmation. Of course, he helped her with some things, like buying toiletries and bringing them to her house, helping her carry heavy luggage on an outing. But that was it. He would wake up in the morning and send her a message asking if she slept well. When she says yes, he goes on to pray that she would have a blessed day in Jesus' name, after which he disappears till maybe evening, when he will suddenly show up in her house, bringing some foodstuff that he thinks she would need. Off he goes. Doesn't do small talks. Any attempt to engage in a lovey-dovey session, he starts pressing his phone and he starts calling people to see where he can help. She had complained many times to him, and he would promise to change, a change which she couldn't sustain beyond 2 days. The annoying thing was how everybody she reported to told her she should be grateful for having such a man. They would go on to reel out how he supported them at one time or the other when they were stranded. She would go back home to her thoughts. There were times she got jealous when she saw pictures of her friends enjoying the lovey-dovey romantic blues of their relationship. One day, she made Desmond watch a romantic movie with her. She giggled all through and dropped commentaries on them, stylishly letting Desmond know how she wants to be loved. Desmond smiled many times during the movie, a sign that he was enjoying it. Mo hoped he got the message. After the movie, Desmond had seen her off, holding the door to the car open. When she wanted to enter the car, an act that melted Mo's heart. The next day, she had sent him a romantic early morning message to greet him. His response got her crying. "Have a wonderful day, my sister," was his response. At this point, Mo was frustrated. She thought he was making progress. What happened? She refused to respond to his chat all through that day. 2 days later, she ended the relationship. She had sent him a message to that effect. Desmond had just finished eating when he saw her message. He was shocked to see it. He never saw it coming. He tried to recall if they had a fight recently, but none came to mind. He tried to call Mo, but she didn't pick. He went to her house in the evening to have a conversation with her, but Mo had gone on a temporary change of environment because she foresaw he would visit her, and she wasn't ready for that. Disappointed, Desmond decided to let go, but some days after, he found out that his mind kept drifting back to her. His productivity at work had drastically reduced. He didn't know he loved her that much. Mo, on the other hand, where she was, felt bad sometimes, and she would cry. Desmond told some people to beg her on his behalf, a development Mo wasn't pleased with. It rather annoyed her. She sent him a message to desist from telling people about her, and ended the message with, "If only you had learnt to speak my love language, you won't be administering mercy after death." Desmond was in the gym when he saw the message. Confused, he spoke to a friend who was versed in relationship matters and showed him the message. He asked him probing questions. What were the things she complained about more than once before she left? What did she used to complain about that she stopped complaining about? Desmond thought deeply, and after some minutes, he said, "I now get it. I think she doesn't want the mature kind of appeal that I bring into relationships. She wants the lovey-dovey butterflies in my tummy type of relationship." And I explained many times to her that I wasn't the type. I wasn't raised with such in my background. I love her in my own way. I run errands for her, do things for her, take supplies to her. Is that not enough? He queried. "Well, you just have to love her the way she wants it, not how you want it," said his friend. Desmond decided he would let her go, not because he didn't love her, but he didn't feel accepted. That friend that cancelled him was against it. Since you still love her, it is best you use this opportunity to actually kindle that romantic flame in you. Trust me, you will need it in marriage. Acts of service can be done by maids and house helps. Romance is one thing that will make you stand out in a heart, because that doesn't come from everyone. You actually need to develop it if you want a happy marriage. Why not woo her again, no matter how difficult she makes it? Send her sweet messages every day. Send her lunch at work with a love note. Wait for her at the junction you know she passes by. If she doesn't come back, it is still a win, because you would have instilled in yourself the skill of doing these things, a skill you will need in marriage. His advice made sense to Desmond. He decided to flow with it. Few days later, the rain started to fall in the evening. It was around closing time for workers, and while Desmond was on his way home, it occurred to him to surprise Mo by picking her up at work. To think he never did this for her when they were dating. The only time she entered his car was when they had to go out together. "I really need to do better," he said. He dropped by at a restaurant and got a hot coffee and minced pie for her. She loved minced pie. Also, the weather was cold, so the coffee would come in handy. Few minutes later, he parked in front of her company. The rain was no longer as heavy as it was, so he saw her stepping out with few other people, trying to rush to their houses. He called out to her. Surprised, Mo looked up, and to her dismay, she saw Desmond waving at her. "What is he doing here?" he asked, and went to him. "Hi, Desmond. Who are you here to see?" she asked. "It's you, my baby. I figured out you would need help with getting home under this weather. Kindly hop into the car, and please don't say no," he said. Mo stood for some seconds, hesitating, trying to take in what just happened. She had missed him and was glad to see him inwardly, but she didn't want to find herself back where she had struggled to get out from. "Thank you, but I will pass," she said, and made an attempt to leave. "Big head, hope you know there is hot mince pie and coffee in that car. Also, my car is warm, and even my presence makes it warmer. Why would you ignore that to walk in the cold? Come on," he said, smiling as he opened the door to his car and held it. Surprised but happy, Mo entered the car. She smiled all through the journey home. She had also enjoyed the snacks he bought for her. He had played a romantic song all through the journey, and just when they were about to separate, he sat up to have a closer look at her. "My sweet love, I am sorry for the way I treated you. I'm sorry for being so consumed with myself that I failed to recognize your needs. You are fair and beautiful, and losing you these past few months have been hell for me. Please give me a chance to show you I can love you better. Give us a chance again," he said as he kissed her on the cheek. Mo's heart melted, but still gathered in her composure. "I will think about it," she said, and dropped off the car. Desmond smiled. For the next 1 month, he continued sending her messages twice daily. One to greet her good morning, the other one happens at night to ask her how her day was. It was spontaneous. Sometimes he texted her through WeChat, sometimes through Skype, sometimes through Facebook. Sometimes he would call with a different number. Afterwards, he could pick her mood from the phone. "You don't seem happy today, my girl. Tell me about it," he would say. "I'm fine," she would respond. "No, you are not. Can I come around to pick you up to a cool place so we can talk?" "I said I'm fine," she replied. Few minutes later, a delivery guy had brought in a parcel of gifts and a romantic letter. At that moment, Mo decided to go back to him. "I think he has cracked my code," she said to her friend, who nodded her head.